wrist. What? 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. D Rose, 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 D Rose. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. What? 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. What? 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. D Rose, 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 D Rose. 100 on my wrist, bitch, I'm feeling like D Rose. Pop 4 Zans, I'm feeling like a hero. Superman, lean got me like Rio. And my auntie on P.O. on my wrist, 80 on the brick. Lil Pump never spend his money on a bitch. Never trust a nigga cause he acting like a bitch. Take a nigga bitch to the Motel 6. I just broke my wrist cause I'm whipping in the kitchen. Pass the bread to my mom and I told her whip it. 4 bands in the kitchen. 9 bands in the kitchen. I just fuck your bitch. What? I just broke my wrist. Okay. I just fuck your bitch. Ooh. I just fuck your bitch. Okay. D Rose, 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 D Rose. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. What? 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. What? 100 on my wrist. 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist. D Rose, D Rose.
Big come straight, holy nuts. I don't want friends, I want Audis. Smoking on booth and it's my weed. I check the bitch like I'm Mari. Sorry, bitch, I don't say sorry. Look at my cup, it got dope. I been a rover like slow. Bitches ain't cleaner than soap. Picking them up, then she choke. Couple of bands in my mouth. Couple of bands in the south. I pay the bands in the west. Then take the bands to the south. Look at my watch, that's a 50. Went in New York for like 50. I think it be wanna kiss it. I let her tell me no kiss it. Whipping Jeff Hard in the kitchen. Cutting the rubber, them chicken.